So I got the request to review some rom-coms, and I think it's good that I got this request because I need to diversify a bit. I haven't reviewed a single rom-com on this channel, except for the countless times I've mentioned Annie Hall, this review, and all of these. I'm actually really excited to do this. A little guilty pleasure of mine is that I love rom-coms. One of my favorite movies, and by far the most mentioned movie on this channel, is Annie Hall, which is a rom-com. So, for all of July, I'll be reviewing some rom-coms. That way, I can get it all out of the way and not have to talk about it later. I'm fully kidding. I'm gonna talk about romance movies in the future, but July is mostly gonna be rom-coms. Some are going to be unknown and underrated. Some are popular and really well known. And the movie to start off our July rom-com review segment is 500 Days of Summer. Was directed by Marc Webb. It stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Tom, a greeting card writer who just got out of a breakup with his girlfriend Summer, played by Zooey Deschanel. Tom thought Summer was the one, the girl of his dreams, even though she's stated that she isn't looking for a serious relationship and also does not believe in true love. What Tom does for the next 97 minutes of the runtime is examine his romanticized version of his 500 Days of Summer in his mind to see what went wrong and where it went wrong. Okay, so quickly before the review, I wanted to bring up a bit of a weird problem I had with this. It's way too subjective to actually downgrade the movie, so it won't affect the grade I'm going to give this movie, but I just wanted to mention it. I really hate the soundtrack to this movie, and I don't even know why. I just did not like the soundtrack to 500 Days of Summer. Every song just irritated me for some reason, and it's too subjective to actually downgrade it. It's just, I don't know, I just had this flaw, and it kind of irked me. Okay, so now that I have that little peeve out of the way, we're gonna get on to the actual review. As I said earlier, Marc Webb directed 500 Days of Summer, and then he went on to make The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Those are both trashy, horrible, insufferably unwatchable movies. But 500 Days of Summer, I like 500 Days of Summer. The main reason I watched this was that I heard it's similar to Annie Hall. And there's enough to get me to watch a movie. If you can convince me that a movie is similar enough to Annie Hall and give me good reasoning for it being similar, I can almost guarantee I'd watch it. That's why I ended up watching 500 Days of Summer, which I'm really happy I did because I really enjoyed this movie. There were a lot of really good performances in this movie. I'm not too familiar with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's movies. I've seen Inception, Lincoln, The Dark Knight Rises, and 10 Things I Hate About You. That's it. But I really liked his performance in this movie as Tom. I think I'm gonna try and find more of his movies. Chloe Grace Moretz was also in this movie, and she was really good as Tom's sister. I think she's one of the most talented child actors. Zooey Deschanel, man. Wow. Best performance in the whole movie. Very funny, very emotional, very entertaining. Zooey Deschanel gave off the perfect vibe she was supposed to. Her character Summer is supposed to have this very sweet, calming presence, and I'd say she did everything she was supposed to, and then a bit more. By far, one of my favorite performances in a movie. This is a very funny movie. Not too many jokes missed. They, for the most part, got me laughing. Towards the part where Tom and Summer's breakup becomes more apparent and imminent, Tom becomes a complete mess, and I was really laughing like a madman during those moments. There's also a scene where Tom goes on a blind date. Watch that scene and remember this. When you go on a blind date, don't do that. That scene was hilarious, but a good example of what you shouldn't do on a blind date. As the audience, we follow Tom's version of his romance with Summer, and I like that idea. This movie follows Tom's memory, so it's going in a non-linear storyline. Like how most of our memories are, we remember things without a timeline in mind. We get to see this movie through the eyes of Tom, who romanticized his relationship with Summer out of proportion, and I often like that idea of an unreliable narrator. 500 Days of Summer proves Marc Webb to be a very capable director. I found a lot of very unique scenes throughout the movie. There's a scene mixing expectations with reality that I found not only to be probably the best scene in the movie, but also very cool because of its use of two different screens showing different images, one of expectations, one of reality. There's also the use of color in its cinematography and costume design that just seemed very creative to me. It's where a lot of scenes where Summer is the focus are very blue, and a lot of scenes where Tom is the focus are using more of a brown color palette. We eventually realized that these two colors don't go together, so we realized this is emblematic of a relationship not meant to be. My big problem with 500 Days of Summer is one that I have with a lot of rom-coms. Most of the second act isn't really that interesting. Most rom coms follow the same three-act structure. The first act is the exposition to explain our two main characters and show us the meet cute. The second act is just to make you feel neat. That's it. Nothing happens in the second act. It just reestablishes that these two are in love. The third act wraps everything up. A lot of rom-coms have terrible, or at least uneventful second acts. 500 Days of Summer follows the latter. It's no exception. There's nothing in the second act to impact the story. It just makes you feel neat. It makes you feel swell. There's no progression to the story. I'll give 500 Days of Summer an A minus. So another movie with Zooey Deschanel is The Happening. Go watch that if you really want to watch a bad movie. It is an awful movie with awful performances from both Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel. Hooray! Guys, I know I recommend Annie Hall a lot, but I seriously mean it this time. There is a ridiculous amount of similarities between these two. Both are rom-coms. Both are their director's breakout films. Both focus on the male who have very stylized ideas of romance. Both have a scene mixing animation and live action. Both regularly break the fourth wall. Both blend reality with fantasy. Both follow a non-linear storyline. The difference between the two is that one has a good second act. I mentioned earlier that this uses Tom as an unreliable narrator. Well, you want some movies with unreliable narrators? Boom, Joker. Boom, K-Pax. Boom, The Usual Suspects. And don't forget the greatest movie of all time. Boom, Citizen Kane. I feel like I need to recommend a super underrated movie. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore is an incredibly underrated rom-com and an incredibly underrated Martin Scorsese movie. Go check it out if you want to. It's awesome. Well, that does it for this video. Since 500 Days of Summer has a non-linear storyline, before you leave, why don't you tell me what your favorite movie with a non-linear storyline is? Mine, obviously, is Annie Hall, but after that would probably be Memento or Pulp Fiction. After you do that, you can head on out, stay safe, and watch good movies. Bye!